Hey, what up, y'all? Good morning. How's everybody today? Hope everybody's doing well. Hey, so check it out. We got some grape hummus. Yeah, this stuff is real easy when it's wet, but when it's dry, it's a real pain in the butt. So it's a rainy day here in the valley. So I guess that's good for this job here. Let's take a walk around. Hopefully I won't slip in this mud here. Yeah, I'm gonna acid wash this here. We'll just start off with the barn hose as always, or mostly as always, I guess. But yeah, every job's typically the same, but a little bit different too at the same time. So it's gonna be raining all day. I think I need to get me some different sized gloves on. Yeah, I'm gonna get different gloves on. Plastic cover on here because I'm wearing my rain gear, and my rain gear's always got grease all over it. So the interior is not too terrible in here. I'm gonna drive her on in there because there's a lot of junk right there. I'll just set that bucket down there in that hole. That way there's less to clean up, huh? Good idea? I think it's a great idea. To the kitty cat. It's a mama kitty cat. Been thinking about getting her captured and get her spayed, because there's this male cat that I feed out here. He's a survivor. He and her have mated a time or two, and the kittens don't really survive very long, or if there's many, they don't make it. There's two about out here on her from her last litter, but the problem is they're feral and they don't want nothing to do with me other than me feeding them. Okay, so We're almost done with this junk out of this coupler, so I think what I'm going to do is, while I have that barn hose off, is I'm going to just see if some of this junk will just pull out of here. And that pulled out pretty easy over there. Just once you start peeling that layer, yeah, that's all mold. It's like rock hard. Let me tell you, it stinks like vinegar too. Yeah, so if you're wondering where this machine had been, it'd been at one of the wineries. See those bugs in there? There he is right there. See that? Yeah. Anyway, here in the valley, there's wineries and stuff, and what this is this is all the leftovers, and dairies will buy this stuff, and so they feed it to the cows. So basically this machine was at a winery loading this out to be fed to cows, and there'll be probably 4 or 5 more that come in like this. That little old kink's causing this problem. Apparently. Yeah, as soon as I get done with the barn hose, I'm taking these suckers off because they're leaking a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna just take the pressure washer there. So this is not much there to even fiddle with this barn hose. I think we're about done with the barn hose, but first I'm gonna kind of flush down all this debris. I like having a clean work area. Get this mess all cleaned up, then we'll get all this grease and crap out of there. So I think if it doesn't come off very well, we'll be acid washing, so it should come off the rest of the way with the acid. So okay, let's get this ladder over here. Let me shut this so you don't get too crazy in here. For some reason the 544s and the 624s, they don't like a bunch of water. The bigger ones, man, you can freaking full send it and it don't really hurt them too much. It's always kind of a sketchy situation when you're using that much water with all these electronics around here, and there's been a time or two where it causes a problem. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'll just go ahead and move the ladder over now. That way I can rinse that wheel. But you can see most of this stuff's kind of coming off pretty easy just with the hot water. Some of it's not. So that's where the acid comes in. I'm kind of thankful that it's not baked in there all crazy like, because there's been a time or two they come in, they're freaking thrashed. If we get one like that, I'll definitely document for you guys. That way you can see what the heck. Okay, so I'll go back over there and rinse that wheel, then we'll start right here, degreasing everything. Okay, so inside of here, you just kind of have to blind it for now, but you can get it, see in there, see how low it is. A little bit of junk down there. We'll shoot that out right now, from right here. Alrighty, yeah, we'll do all these tires first. I won't worry about the insides underneath here yet. I'll do that last, because I want to keep all this open here so I can acid wash all this bucket. We'll close it up, then we'll do the interior, then the top of it. So for now, let's get all these rubber bits done with the Purple Thunder. We'll get a pump sprayer ready. I believe there's a little bit here in this bucket left over from yesterday. Not much, but that's all right. We'll go ahead and top off this pump sprayer too. we'll scrub these real quick. We'll pressure wash them off. Hey, you guys bring your earplugs? I do. Man, I go home every night after work, freaking my ears just ringing. I wish there was a way that I could wear earmuffs out here and be able to hear everybody at the same time. Hey, so thankfully, if I do lose my hearing completely, I know sign language. My mom and dad are deaf. I don't want to lose my hearing. That's for sure. Okay, so unfortunately I gotta dump this out because I need the bucket for acid. Okay, so that's done. We'll rinse this bucket out the best we can with just some water. We'll have to pull this drum pump out. And what we'll do is we'll take a couple pumps of this and right onto the ground, then put the rest of it in this bucket, and we should be good to roll. I'll fill up this pump sprayer. Yeah, so this acid's 10 to 1. It's pretty good at 10 to 1. Start running a little stronger than that, you risk burning things. Like let me give you an example. So like this stuff right here, you see how it's got this like coating on there? It'll freaking cook that coating off. Same stuff with this, it'll cook that off. Any hotter than that, anything that has the coating, any hotter than 10 to 1, it's freaking, you can almost guarantee it'll be done. Anyway, so I would rather go a little safe than sorry and have to hit it 2 or 3 times. Set you right here for now. So what we'll do is whatever we can brush, we'll brush, and whatever we can not brush, we'll touchless. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll do this bucket, then we'll stop right here on the coupler, then we'll close this up. We'll back you up a bit, then we'll get underneath here and we'll get the gantry all as one piece. Yeah, if you've ever wondered what this acid smells like eggs. Let me shuffle everything over to the other side. so we'll take you and slide you over there. I'll walk around in this yummy soup over here. Okay, so we'll start this thing up and we'll back it up, I guess. We need to move this hose out of the way. Yeah, you see all that grease right there? That was on the back of my jacket, and thankfully I have these little things right here to protect the seat. Okay, so we'll do the interior of this bucket, but first we got to get it cleaned out, and I'm going to move this out of the way because it will get destroyed. Okay, so there's that. So we'll just do touchless on the inside of this bucket. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll do all this yellow, then we'll hit all this gray on the gantry here. Yeah, there's a lot of grease in there that that's all right. We'll get it handled one way or another. Okay, I think we'll stop right there. I'll start brushing all this. The acid got in the eyeball. Always the best. Okay, I think we're about ready to start rinsing. I'll get this wheel here, this light fender area. As you see, most of this work I do, it's kind of blinding. Okay, how's that in there? Still a little bit of grease behind those lines. See that? I think we're not going to worry about that. Okay, we'll get that degreaser back out over here. Ow, that freaking rang my bell, boy. Hit right here. That don't give too easy. Okay, so now we'll start aciding all this in here, then we'll work our way up once we get to, you know what, I'll hit all this back here, then I'll go that away, then we'll go up. That'll make more sense. I'm gonna have to get more acid soon. We'll hit this too while we're at it, because this pump sprayer is empty just about. Cleaning up pretty good, huh? When I seen that sucker come in, I was like, man, that's gonna be a big old pain in the butt. But it's coming out pretty easy, so. I mean, I wouldn't say easy, I'm freaking having to work for it. Okay, I got just a vendor pulled in. I gotta go deal with him real quick. Okay, vendor dealt with. I took off that other jacket. That was getting hot. Okay, so pretty sure we left off right here, and we'll go up. Okay, so let's do this top, and we'll put that bucket down all the way flat, and we'll be about ready to start working on this interior. One more thing, forgot about this engine compartment. Yeah, see, we'll do this over again. You see how there's still a little bit of junk there? That's what you get with touchless. Doesn't quite come off. But this is just the interior of the bucket. little bit right here on the gantry too, huh? We'll check that other side up. Check it too. Okay, I think that concludes the wash. We'll dump out this acid here. Fill this up with water. That way when we come back on tomorrow, that brush isn't all rotted away. Okay, here's this interior. Let's kind of take this in. I took the filters out already, blew those out. There's not much to it other than just a little bit of dust here and there and just on the floor. So yeah, this is going to be pretty simple. I wipe this stuff down because it just stays slimy. I mean, what say slimy, but wet, you know. Some people like that real wet stuff. Around here, we don't really care for it too much. Okay, let's clean these windows. Well, what do you think? Still a little bit of grease right there. You see that? That's impossible to get. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching me and hearing me ramble on about stuff. But yeah, another job down the drain, or not down the drain, but done and complete. So we got this one, that 444, and that dozer yet to hit, and but we got a job to go do off site this afternoon, so we're gonna call it